The show we're doing this summer is Little Shop of Horrors. I play Audrey. Audrey is your typical kind of damsel in distress, very naive, very innocent, believes the best in people, always just trying to keep the peace. And she goes hand in hand with Seymour.
I play Seymour. Basically, he's this man who thinks very little of himself, and he thinks he's not going to get out of Skid Row, which is where they're located. And he sort of has a little crush on Audrey, so to say, from the beginning of the story.
My name is Bailey DeBolt. I am the choir director at Sioux Central High School in Cedar Rapids, and this is my second year working with SCT. I was in Gypsy back in 2022, and then I did the music directing, co-directing for Beauty and the Beast last summer for the teen show, and then I was in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels this spring, and now I'm doing this, and it's just really fun. I've enjoyed it a lot, obviously, or probably wouldn't be here. So no, it's really fun. I have a good time here.
It's very inclusive. Every time I'm here, it's a fun experience, and they always do their best to make everyone feel included and welcome, like no matter like the age group or like just anything. It's just very welcoming. It's a very inclusive place. So that's
like Maggie said, it's very much a family atmosphere. Once you're here, you're pretty much here to stay, and you're going to end up keep on doing it for at least multiple years, if not the rest of your life, if you choose to do so. And it's something that's really special to be a part of.
I was looking to get more of a sense of community in the Spencer area. My husband and I just moved to Spencer 2-ish years ago now, and my husband's a teacher here in Spencer, so Derek knew more about Spencer than I did, and it was also my first choir job, and I do the musicals at school as well, and so I wanted to get more knowledge for my students to be able to put on better shows for them, and this was a great avenue to do that. I've learned a lot since I've been here, and my students, selfishly will only benefit from the work that I get to do here, but at the same time, I'm branching out and meeting new people and friends and more students that I get to work with as well, and I just really, really enjoy that too.
I've been doing shows at SCT since I was 10 or 11 years old, so I started with the children's theater, and then I've actually been working here for the past 3 summers, so I've been involved for a long time, and I've done children's shows, teen shows, main stage shows.
Unlike Maggie, this is my second year here at SCT. Last year I was in Beauty and the Beast, and then I also volunteered to help with the youth show. And then this summer, obviously I auditioned for the show, but I'm also working as an HSTL alongside Maggie.
Well, we work alongside the interns and the other staff members to run camps, and later on we'll be running the children's production, which is Schoolhouse Rock Live Junior. I think I said that right. So basically we run camps, we are here to help the interns, and
last week was our first official week of work. It was the production camp, and I have to say some of the kids that we met are some of the most fun kids that I think I've met in my life, if I'm going to be honest. They can be a handful at a time, but obviously it's a really fulfilling experience when you see them get up on stage and act.
Yeah, I would say it's been going really well. The production camp was a lot of fun. It was definitely a lot for our first week, but it really gave us a sense of just getting to watch them do the things that we get to do all the time, and watching them enjoy it and watching them be a part of it, which is also really cool.
I think when you hear the title Little Shop of Horrors, it can come off as a little bit scary in a sense, but once the show's all done and over, you'll realize that there's a nice meaning behind it, and there's a lesson that's to be learned.
It's just a great show. It's a classic. A lot of people know it. The music is great. The story is really fun. It's different from what we normally do as a teen show. It's a little bit more dark, but still has that lighthearted comedic air to it. It's a show you could bring anybody to, and it has something for everybody in terms of music, in terms of the story. It's just a great time, and we've put a lot of work into it, and we would love for everybody to see it.
This show, as Braxton and Maggie were saying, is a little bit grittier. It's not something that I've seen a lot of high schools do, but at the same time, they are doing it very well. It's, that introverted, more I'm unsure of myself, and then you get the side of Audrey who's also unsure of herself, but she wants to really expand and wants a better life but doesn't know how to get to it. And then you've got this plant thing that comes in and kind of ruffles everybody's feathers and causes chaos, and it's just a cool storyline that, you know, you have your protagonist and antagonist in every show, but this one, it's done differently, and it's just fun to see it.
It's just a really good show in general, but I feel like with the way that it's casted, I feel like we all fit the roles very well, and it's just a good show in general.
Yeah, it's like a timeless, lasting show. Like, the music is really good. A lot of people will know it. Probably the older demographic will know it better, but it's still something that's really interesting to the younger groups. So it's like a family show. Yeah, it's kind of a family show, but kind of. But I don't know. It's just people will know it, and it's really fun, and we're having a lot of fun with it.
I'm so excited about this group. I mean, at SCT, there is fabulous talent. Every time I've worked here, every time I've done stuff here, but it's just really cool to see the talent of these young kids. And also, we have a pretty young group of kids coming in this year too that are able to do the teen show this year as opposed to the younger kids show. And I've just been blown away by them. So you've got, you know, the older kids that have kind of done it a little bit for this before, and then you've got your younger kids, and they're meshing really well. And it's just really cool to see them all together that way.
I feel like Little Shop of Horrors is one of the shows that you just have to be in as a theater kid. I feel like I resonate with Seymour a little more than the normal person, and that's mainly what drew me to audition for him.
I just love the show. I've been listening to the soundtrack for a long time because my mom's been listening to the soundtrack for a long time, so I just already knew it. And it's a really good show, and I just, you know, I was going to audition either way, but the fact that this was the show just really was enticing.
I mean, the cliche, right? Suddenly Seymour is such a great song. It's such a power ballad kind of, but uplifting and upbeat at the same time. But I also really enjoy Get It because it's rock-esque, and there's just kind of this part where you get to go, and I just love that about it too. But honestly, all the songs are amazing, and the kids are doing really well with that. The dates are July 6th, 7th, and 8th at 7:30, and then the Sunday performance is July 9th at 2 p.m. So if you're coming and you need to get tickets, you can go to sctplayhouse.org and order online, or you can call the box office at 712-262-7336. Our sponsors for Little Shop of Horrors this year are Schmidt Pediatric Dentistry and the Clay County Fair and Events Center. Well, if you're a theater kid or a theater person, or, you know, just love the performing arts, you need to come because, as the kid said, it's a classic. And I feel a little, you know, silly for saying this, but I had actually never seen this show before I started working on it, and I feel silly for not doing that because it is really a great show, and the music is amazing. I mean, you've got the actual composition by Alan Menken, who's having kind of his Disney resurgence right now too with his Disney Renaissance stuff, and this is something else from him that is not super Disney-esque, so, you know, you've got that whole feel as well. And then Howard Ashman, I mean, the lyrics and the book by him, it's such a winning combination. You gotta come see it. And the kids are great, like, they're killing it. So tickets for the show are $15 for adults and $10 for kids. And just a little disclaimer, this show is PG-13 for content, so just be aware of that if you're coming, but you should come anyway because it's great.